You guys will see
We live.
live. All right, so you know we're live. So don't say anything that will incriminate you guys. I know what you do in your personal lives, but yeah, don't say any of that stuff. Ah, all right, you guys ready?
Oh, you know?
All right, let's get
Let's
started.
get it.
What's up, family, and welcome back to your new favorite podcast. As always, it's your favorite's favorite Mason, and this is where I usually kick it to Kori, but unfortunately, Kori is running a little bit behind schedule. So let's give her a gunshot, aka, all that. She'll do that when she gets here. Today we're joined by some family members. Mel's in the building. What's up, Mel? What's
What's up?
going
What's
on?
up? What's up?
Hey, we got my man Brandon. Brandon, what's going on?
Yo, what's going on, y'all?
Hey, and Keisha, what's up? What's up?
Hey, how are you?
Hey, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing, everybody? So normally this is where Kori checks in with everybody's mental health. So today I'm checking in with everybody's mental health. So let's start off with Mel. Mel, how you doing? How's your mental health? How was your weekend? How has it been since the last time I've seen you?
Well, I mean, a lot of things have changed, but I'm definitely in great spirits. I'm feeling great vibes. I'm feeling good. And I'm just looking forward to moving forward in life. That's all.
Okay. Sounds positive. I like that. I like that. Brandon, what's going on? What's popping, my man?
Well, man, this week, man, it's been a challenge, but I look at it like, I just take this time to reflect, make some, sound decisions, and I feel good about the decisions I made moving forward. So big things are coming.
Okay, I like that. Ish, what's going on? How are you doing? How's your mental health? Introduce yourself, say what you want to say, and
My
how's-
mental health is actually great. My week so far has been good. It's been a slow week at work, so that's always a plus for me since I have a very busy job. So I'm just hoping it just stays the same.
okay, that's what's up. As far as I'm concerned, my week has been pretty slow. Nothing crazy. Just chilling. Didn't go out this week. Normally, our audience knows I usually go out, have a few drinks, relax, let loose, take a deep breath, and just decompress. It's good for my mental health to be around some music, be around some good people, positive vibes, have a drink or two, and just relax. So I usually do that, but this weekend I stayed in, didn't do much, ordered some pizza, watched a little sports, a couple of movies, and kept it real chill. So you need that every once in a while as well, right? Have you guys been seeing anything in the news recently about Virgil? I don't know if you guys know who Virgil is.
So,
Have you guys
yeah,
seen anything in
Yeah.
the news about that? You
yeah.
guys have any opinions on I've heard so many things, so many great things. It's one of the first time that a black man has died, and I think that the respect has been paid all the way across. You weren't seeing baby mamas pop up yet. You haven't seen all this, extracurricular issues. It's
Mhm.
been a very respectful send off to somebody who was a creative genius, in my opinion.
Yeah, I didn't know exactly who he was, but just from the outpour of love that he's been getting, just shows that obviously he was some type of major, person. So, but I didn't know who he was prior to him dying, though. To be honest.
You ain't the only one. Brandon, did you see anything about
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, I know of his work. Do I know it? Like, because to be honest, I never could afford all those clothes anyway right now. So, like, I don't care. I didn't care too much about it, but yeah, I know of him. I know of the work that he put in. He was a mogul in his business. So, what he was doing. So, it's a shame that it took him so soon. With cancer and everything. But yeah,
Yeah, 41 years old. 41 years old.
Mm.
Mel, did you hear about Virgil?
No, I don't know who it is.
He said, Mel's
You
keeping
know,
it
I don't
100.
pretend.
I did not see the news. I don't know who that
I,
is. I
I
have
don't
no clue what
pretend.
he
I don't
does. I don't know what
pretend.
off white is,
That
on white
return
is.
event I
Off
know
white is a
nothing
color to
about.
me. Totally cool. Well, Just to bring something else up, we're gonna switch gears, be a little ratchet. Have you heard about Tristan Thompson having a side baby? Is it a side baby if it's not a break? What is that called when you have a baby on somebody, but it's not a break, so it's not a break baby?
I didn't know
So
he
it's
was on a break.
I thought you
I
were
thought he
saying
wasn't.
I
That's
thought
my
they were
that's my
together.
question. He wasn't
Oh
on a
yeah,
break.
I
I
thought
didn't
they
know
were
a
So what
little
do you
bit
call
about
that?
that.
You
I
just
thought
had a
they were
baby on
together.
somebody?
Yeah, I don't think he had a baby on her because I think him and Chloe were together. So
To my understanding, they are together until she found
I
this
guess
out.
they're still
So,
Yeah.
together. Yeah.
so that's not a break baby. That's a just I had a baby on you.
He had a baby on
Yeah.
her. Yeah.
I cheated.
Mm.
I
Yeah,
cheated.
cheated. I cheated.
I
How
cheated.
much is too much though? When do you stop? You know, like how many times does this happen? We've seen videos of it. I mean, besides the actual act of him committing a cheating act where he's like actually we saw a video of him kissing girls in the club. So
Yeah.
and she's seen that.
Yeah.
So how much is too much though? As a woman, how much is too much in a they're not even married. So how much is too much?
I
What
mean,
would you
after
say,
she
Keisha?
got publicly humiliated with the pictures that we saw, I think at that point enough was enough. I would say at least after the for me the first time, but for her it's like, girl, like how many times do he got to do it for you to just be done with him? But she'll be back with him.
But my
Yep,
thing is,
he will.
he's finding creative ways to embarrass her. It's just more and more creative ways. Like every time you think, man, it can't get any lower, he's like, I got you. I got
Yep.
another step lower to go.
Yep.
Well, he that might have been his target the whole time. Humiliate her. You never know.
Over and over and
And
over.
over. Because if you keep going back, then that's what you're doing. You're allowing that to happen. It's
Yeah,
no
at some
more
point
his fault. It's your fault now.
Yeah,
I
and
agree.
sometimes you stop being a victim and you're just a willing participant.
There
Yeah.
you go.
You got to change the title sometimes. So I'm no
Yeah.
longer in sympathy of Chloe. It's more like you're a
Yeah.
willing participant in this scenario. So at no
Absolutely.
point am I feeling sorry for you or it's sad for you. I'm like, live your life, yo. Take him back. I think she should take him back after this too. Why stop now? Why stop now? Like just keep
Keep the
going.
record, right? Don't break
Yeah,
the record.
I'm just
right?
curious for her, like just to see how far he could go. Like, just keep going. Like, how much more can he do? Like, I'm
But
just waiting
it's
for him to
just-
have a baby with one of the sisters.
But it's just weird though, because it's like you got like a nice group of friends around you, and like they're not like saying nothing to you. Like, I don't understand. Like, I feel like my friends would be all on me, like, yo, like, what are you doing? Like, why do you keep taking him back? But clearly, I mean, I don't know if her
You have
friends are just
friends. Maybe he don't. Maybe that's the
Exactly.
key to it.
yeah, and maybe she
You
just
have
has
friends,
yes
maybe
friends
you
in her
don't.
life. So,
Mm.
who just kind of just, agree with what she does or what she says just because. But my friends would not. would not.
I mean, Brandon, what do you think? What do you think about that whole thing?
It's kind of tricky, man. I look at those like a toxic relationship. Like for me, it's like I haven't kept up with it. I haven't followed because I don't like they've been up and down. I don't even know they were back together or wherever they stand. I don't follow with all that with a lot of celebrities because they're always in and out. So that's just really not my thing.
Yeah, but in a general perspective, what do you think about somebody who has cheated on somebody multiple times? They're not married, they have a kid multiple times, because that is today's topic. We're gonna jump right into it after we check in with Kori's mental health. But what do you think about somebody who's cheated multiple times and they keep getting taken back? And from a male's perspective, what do you think?
This touches close to home, but so I understand a lot about that. But it all depends, because he's probably looking at it, with the kids, you got those, it's hard to tell how some of these men think because I can only speak for myself, but, thinking about it, a lot of times, based on how you came up in this world, how you was raised, maybe you didn't want that for your family. Maybe he just didn't want to be a baby daddy. Maybe he wanted to try to make things work. But then again, then you go and do the wrong thing. So how can that happen? Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Actions speak louder than words.
It's all about what you do, not what you say.
I agree with you. Action, that's a gem right there. Actions speak louder than words. So I think his actions has clearly stated he don't want to be with that girl. Like he might like the status of it, but he do not want to be with that girl. So I mean,
well, he could want to be with her, but he just wants to be with her and other people. So
that's an option too.
So
so he wants to be with her on like Tuesdays, and then the rest of the week he wants to
and then have someone else want. Yeah.
Hey, listen, if you say that in the beginning, I think it would make life easier. A lot of people would accept that. Not people I know, but people. Kori, you locked in? You ready?
Oh, hey, y'all. Hey.
You want to tell us about your trip?
Hey.
Oh, you don't even sound right now.
It was great. I know I sound horrible. I think I had too much fun.
Too much fun. All right. So your mental health is popping. You are relaxed, ready.
My mental health is definitely popping. Definitely relaxed. Definitely ready for this topic. I'm definitely trying to log onto my computer and get this going. They had everything up and running. So I want to say shout out to my team. Y'all are amazing. Thank you so much. No, not shout out to my team.
Yeah.
You sound more.
Relax now.
You
Just
sound.
chill out. Like, just chill out. All right, so I'm sorry, everybody. You already know it's your girl Kori Deez, aka Lemon Squeeze, aka the host of Whole, aka the vessel. A whole lot of AKAs in this mother. It's definitely got 7, so I can say motherfucker for you. Hi, everybody. Our wonderful panel. This is my first time meeting everyone here. Thank you and welcome to Hush Your Mouth. I don't think y'all can see me. I don't know what's happening with this camera that she got going on. I'm just trying to get myself together.
Don't throw side panel under the bus.
This is Mel's
Side
camera.
panel did what she could to make sure that she was set up and ready for
We worked with what we had.
They got a Kool-Aid box. They got some stuff going on.
Yo, you see that? She thanked us and then trash us all in one breath.
Did everybody else do their mental health? How's everybody else
Everybody's
feeling?
mental health is good. We checking in. We waiting for you to jump into that first question.
Copy. The first question, let me pull it up on my damn phone. I was like, I literally got off the plane on the highway and I'm here. So that is good.
You made it. Clap it up for you.
So the first question, what is your definition of cheating? Right?
Yeah. What is your definition of cheating? What is the worst emotional or sexual unfaithfulness within a marriage?
So to me,
worse?
Okay, so where do you want me to start? So where do you want me to start?
What's your definition of cheating, Kori?
Cheating is poor character because you're not being honest with yourself and you're not being honest with your partner, right? And you're taking someone else on an emotional roller coaster with you. And that's absolutely not fair to them. Cheating is anything that you wouldn't do in front of your partner's face, but somehow you do it when they aren't looking. I feel like I can't be seen right on this damn camera. I know I'm just
All right, while you fix that, Keisha, what is your definition of cheating?
I really wasn't done, but Keisha, jump in.
Oh, I'm just trying to get you to fix your camera so we can keep it.
No, I kind of agree with Kori in terms of, something that you cannot do in front of your partner, but it basically is just a breaking of trust within, a relationship, and when you're getting emotionally involved and physically involved, with someone else. So
okay. What is worse, emotional or sexual unfaithfulness in a marriage?
I would say emotional.
Emotional. I say emotional. I say emotional.
For sure.
You got a consensus. Okay. Brandon, what do you think? What is your definition of cheating? What's worse, emotional or sexual unfaithfulness in a marriage?
Now, cheating, I think, is anything outside of a friendship. There's nothing wrong with having friends, but if something of that you have to do in between your relationship changes and it's more than a friendship, like we were saying earlier, something you don't feel confident doing in front of your significant other, then it can't be done. It's wrong. It's cheating.
I'm
very strong on this subject. So cheating it's just flat out. You either are doing it or you're not. There's no in between.
And what's worse, emotional or sexual unfaithfulness?
Definitely emotional. You can have an emotional attachment and detach yourself from your current relationship before you even actually go and do the act. That's deep, and that's the problem right there.
Absolutely. That's what's up. Yeah.
Mel, what do you think? Mel?
Huh?
Mel, what's your definition of cheating? What's worse,
basically, I said the same thing. Anything that you can't do in front of your spouse, if you gotta hide it or not expose it, you're doing something wrong. So that's cheating. And like for me, emotional cheating is worse because sexual sometimes you can leave them feelings on the sheets. You know what I'm saying? But when you're emotionally attached to somebody, that's a whole nother level. You know,
Yeah.
that's your emotion is that's who you are. That's who you are. So that's a deep attachment. So I'd rather you cheat on me and just get some sex.
I agree.
Yeah.
I would rather neither. I'm not
I
picking
mean,
either
No,
yeah.
but
or.
I'm just saying. I'm
Yeah,
just
I'm
saying.
with you.
You said a question. You gave us a choice. I'm saying emotional
Yeah.
attachment will damage you. Really,
Yeah.
Yeah,
for real.
yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Sexual is just like a formality at that point. Once the emotions is out, then
Yeah.
sexual
Like you
is
have a
just like a
connection
formality.
with
It's
that
just like,
person at that point where
correct.
you're like emotionally attached with somebody. It's like y'all connected on like a whole different level at this point. Like you
Absolutely,
actually care about this
absolutely.
person. You know what I mean? Like, so we have a
You start
serious
to worry about how
problem.
they feel.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it was like we have a problem. Like if you worrying
It's
about yeah,
punishable.
Yeah, that's too much.
Definitely
yeah, that's too
punishable.
much.
Yeah. So for me, I agree with all you guys. So cheating is anything that you are keeping a secret when you're in a committed relationship and you are not sharing with your partner. So if you feel like it's wrong, or you feel like if your partner did it to you, the litmus test is if I feel like you're doing it and I wouldn't like it, then I shouldn't be doing it. So that's how I look at cheating. It could be anything, depending on the person, depending on the couple.
Yeah,
The actual act is it varies based on the couple. So there's couples that having sex is not cheating, it's just a Saturday night at the swingers club. So it depends on the couple. Every couple is different, every relationship is different, so cheating is defined differently based on the couple. So I can't give a definition, it's just based on the couple. But that's the roundabout way to say, hey, this is wrong. Emotionally or sexually unfaithfulness, I think emotionally is 100% worse, because I think once you start getting into those late night conversations and bringing each other lunch at work and those little things and knowing what they like, and it
absolutely.
becomes a little bit different. Now, sex is just sex. I don't think that's anything that you can't come back from. But emotional cheating will scar you for life, and you'll be bringing that into other relationships for many, many moons to come. So
Yeah,
that's my definition. Kori, did you want to finish up what you were saying? Sorry, we cut you off.
Well, y'all kind of like all said exactly what I was going to say. Um, so basically, I feel like it's definitely like it's levels to cheating though, right? So we have to like look into that. Whether it's just flirty conversation or giving attention, it's the time and the energy. And whether it's sexually or emotionally, cheating is cheating. I think that's what we all kind of just agree upon. And I think in a marriage, though, any form of disloyalty, disregard, or disrespect is absolutely horrible, as Keisha said. Because either way, you're choosing to create a tie outside of your marriage, create these connections
absolutely.
without like taking into consideration if I want that type of energy to be, you know what I mean? Like if I want to deal with that, like you're not having any regard for me. Um, and you're opening doors that are deeper than what we can even see or imagine. Like I'm very spiritual, so I believe in like if you guys saw our soul ties episodes, those things are created whether it's sexually, emotionally. Some of them are like it gets real deep. Nobody wants that. Nobody needs that in their life. Like nobody.
Nobody.
But if and I'm such a advocate for like no, I'm not accepting cheating. So I don't want to pick between the two. They're both horrible, but emotional for me, I think I would be the utmost. Like I think I felt disrespected.
Absolutely.
Next one.
Nathan. Next one.
I've been the side, so I know she'll slide. I felt like I had to say it that way. That's the way I read it. Do people that cheat themselves have trust issues?
Absolutely. They do. Because so remember when we put that meme up and it was like, I used to cheat all the time, so I know what cheating looks like, right?
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
So I think that's the whole thing. When you're a cheater, your antennas are always going to be up because you know what it is that you're out there doing. It's like a guilty conscience in a sense. If you've dealt with cheating in the past, like certain behaviors are automatically going to be a trigger for you though. So, I mean, I don't know. That's my opinion.
I don't agree with that. Do people that cheat themselves have trust issues?
Yes. Why? The only reason why you could possibly be cheating is because you don't trust nobody to be 100 with you. When I was a cheater, I didn't trust people to be 100 with me, so therefore I was cheating.
There are some. I got that, but there are some people who just cheat to cheat. They're just cheaters. They can't be faithful. There are people in this world who just, no matter how they try, they just don't know how to be faithful.
You do have trust.
They don't have to have trust issues. That's their personality.
Maybe it's self-control that they don't have.
Yeah, that's what I would say. That would be matter. They don't have self-control over themselves.
Oh, you guys think that?
But
yeah, I
get
think
what
that
Kori is
there
saying
are
too.
people who actually are out here who just cheat. They can't be faithful no matter what, no matter who.
That's another type of situation. That could be kind of like an addiction. Then you're
It is.
addicted to
It is.
cheating. That cheating can
It
be an addiction. So now
It's
you
the
got
high.
yeah, it's a
So
high.
that's what I'm saying. The question was, do they all have trust issues? And I was saying, no, there's some people who are mentally messed up and they just cheat. That's all I was saying. I'm not saying you was wrong about what you're saying, but there are some people who are mentally messed up and they just cheat. They can't be faithful. There are some people that believe monogamy is just not right.
Well, I don't know.
But are those people cheating?
Monogamous,
They're honest up front and honest about their feelings. If they feel, if I come into a relationship with you and I'm like, hey, listen, I feel like monogamy is not natural and I need 4 or 5 biddies like on a regular basis. Like, I'm being honest. Is that cheating now when I go and get 4 or 5 like girls? Is that cheating? No.
Well, my motto is, if you are single, you're
free to mingle.
You're free to mingle.
Yeah.
A little liquor make it quicker. All right, I'll let them fix that. So same question. You were saying, Keisha.
Well, I kind of agree with Kori in the sense of like, I guess like I think what she was trying to say, I guess, like if you've been cheated on in the past, I think when you go into like other relationships, you kind of have that mindset of like, oh, you know what? Like they might be cheating on me. So before they cheat on me, let me make sure I go do my thing before, you know what I mean? They cheat on me, or I think they might be doing their thing. So I'm just going, have my side relationship too. So I'm thinking that's what Kori was trying to say. But I do agree with, I'm sorry, I forget your name.
Mel.
Yes. But about the whole, like, some people just don't have self-control. Like, I just don't think everybody who cheats just doesn't trust themselves. So,
right.
Or have trust issues.
And you know what? The way you just said it is exactly how I felt when I was cheating. I was cheated on, and I was like, "Oh, so this is how it works." Well, before you get me, I'm going to get you. And I thought, in my mind, I thought it wasn't going to hurt as bad if it did come to play, right? But it still hurt all the same.
Yeah, exactly.
Then we ended up playing this whole game for like 7 years where I cheat, you cheat, you cheat, I cheat. We just became an ongoing cycle of some
cheating.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean I had trust issues for a long time then. But
nobody wants to be the sucker. Nobody wants to be taken advantage of. That's what it all boils down to. And when you see there's a potential to be taken advantage of, the natural reaction is to try to avoid that at all costs. So there's some mental parts of that, and there's some baggage that you probably haven't unpacked that you bring into the next relationship. Especially if you become a really good cheater, you think everything is cheating. Oh, you stayed out a little bit later. Oh, that's cheating. Oh, you had to work later. That's cheating. Oh, everything becomes a blown up out of proportion situation. But Brandon, what do you think about this topic or this question?
No, I think it's 2 sides to it, but I think trust issues is just one of the things that goes on, because think about it, like a lot of times we always say, somebody who's cheating, what they do? They start asking you or accusing you of doing the actions that they're doing, because they're projecting those onto you to deflect from what they're doing. So that's where you could be like the trust issues, like, well, let me get to them first to throw them off track before they think that, or even get a hint of what I'm doing. So, like, does it say it's just trust issues? I don't think so. I think it was a combination of things, but it certainly does play a key role in cheating.
And I absolutely agree with you. But Mason, you said something about having the bags. And I always say, like, if you have trust issues, you shouldn't be in relationships. Like, you shouldn't be dating. Absolutely. Because you need to go unpack those bags by yourself. And once you do that, then you can come out and you can start dating. And it'll make your life a whole lot easier. Yeah.
I definitely agree. There's a lot of broken people who are trying to heal through others instead of heal within themselves. Like they come in broken, and the way they're trying to get over is, you know, to get under someone or on someone or whatever the case may be. And that's their method of healing. And you just hurt people. I say that all the time. It's one of my most favorite sayings, and it lives and relives and shows itself every time. Hurt people, and they continuously do it. Don't choke. It's all right. Okay. But yeah, I think it's natural to take your old experiences and bring them into your new experience. It's not a bad thing. It's just realizing it and being self-aware of, you know, this is a traumatic experience. This is why I'm acting like this. I know I've been cheated on, so this is why I'm acting like this. Some victims overcompensate. They do a lot more because they've been the victim or they've cheated. So the next relationship, they do a lot more. They go the other way. So, you know, they call 50 times. Now they want you to call 50 times, and it becomes like smothering because they don't want it to happen.
Yeah. If they're gonna cheat on you, they're gonna cheat on you. It doesn't matter about what you do. If it's gonna happen, it's just gonna happen for you. Like,
it don't really have nothing to do with, you know, you. That's who they are. A cheater is just a cheater. That's something. That's a defect of their character. You know, that don't have nothing to do with you. You can be the best thing since sliced bread, but if they just a fucked up person, they a fucked up person. Point blank. Period.
Amen.
Well said. Let me hit that button. I was slow on that one.
Like delayed with your effects today.
I was listening. I was caught up in that one. Mel had me there.
She do. We don't have anything?
Yeah, we do. We have the Mr. D. Peterson. So since you women are saying that this is possible for a woman to cheat on her man, but not take the other guy seriously, I guess is this possible? Is it possible for a woman to cheat on her man and not take the other guy seriously?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, you know what it is? Guys think that girls are such these like emotional creatures that we have to attach to everybody that we encounter. Like, we're just not the same. Okay, women are women, men are men, but we have the same emotions in a sense, to an extent. We don't have to be emotionally attached to someone in order to engage in that way. I don't think so.
No, you don't. I can be, you know, seeing somebody or cheating on a guy simply because, you know, he got money. Like, so
that's right, Keisha. That's
you
right.
Know, like, it could just be that. Like, I'm attached to his pockets, not necessarily him. Like,
right.
You really don't like that guy.
Yeah, he buys me stuff. So yeah, but no, I ain't really into him.
Keisha, did you ever have a food guy?
She said a food guy. The food guy. You got a food guy.
You ever have one?
Keisha ran from that question.
It's something about when let me just now. Yeah.
She's out.
I know people who are in situations where cheating actually helps their relationship. It's weird, but it happens.
That's Peterson.
Well, yeah, because I seen that lady who was telling the world that she lets her husband have her mom and her sister at least once or twice a week, and that was different. But
is that cheating? Is that cheating?
Yes.
Everybody knows. That is not cheating. If everybody knows,
if everybody know what's going on, they having some weird stuff. Period. That's it.
Yeah, that's just weird.
That's weird.
All right. Well,
they weird.
I just hope they're using protection or they on birth control or something. Because
open for me.
That's past open relationship. That's just a family relationship. I don't know, a family affair.
It's a family affair.
It's a family affair. For real.
Number that 3. Together stays together.
Relationship PTSD. Can a person's past trauma provoke constant infidelity within their future relationship? And does past trauma make cheating excusable? Mason.
Obviously, it doesn't make it excusable. Cheating is cheating, but we always have to define cheating based on everybody's relationship. We just had a whole back and forth with that woman that's having sex with her son-in-law, whatever that situation is. However, that's breaking down. That's not cheating. That's a really interesting agreement. But I definitely think that past trauma does not excuse cheating because you were cheated on in your last relationship. I need you to heal before you come over here and try to fuck up my life. Because at no point in time do I ask for that or did I do anything to deserve that. So you shouldn't be bringing that baggage over here. So it does not excuse it. It's not excusable. It's nothing that, I'm going to be like, oh, I'm going to understand it a little bit more because of whatever happened to you. No, that's not the scenario at all.
Absolutely.
No.
Negative.
Yeah. I mean, that's it. That's all I have to say on that.
Yeah.
Oh, so on me. So I think definitely your past relationships. Our past relationships, I think a combination of those things, good or bad, gives us how we treat our current relationship. Even though it's with a different person, it gives us it takes those, all right, these were my failures before. I'm not gonna do those things. Let me try the things that work. This worked before. Let me try that. Okay, she didn't like that, or okay, all right, well, try something else. At least it gives you a map of what, try to stay away from what you have had happen to you before. But it also, and most times, it does bring what we call the baggage to the current relationship. And that baggage is the thing. And like it was mentioned before, take that time to get yourself together before getting into that relationship. Most of us aren't ready. After we go through something like a past trauma, you're not really ready for the next one. You think you are, but then when you get in it, you realize you're not, but then you start working, towards something. You're like, I can't just back out now. Don't do that, but you stick around too long. So that PTSD can start affecting you. You can start triggering things. You see something that happened to you in your past and the current one, and you start to do those problems. Then that alludes to maybe the cheating, the trust issues. It's a combination of a lot of things. That was a real loaded question, though. I would like to just say that.
You gave a good answer.
Yeah,
I'm in agreement with everything he just said. Yes.
Yes.
But so it was a super loaded question, so I'm going to answer it in both parts. So I said that the traumas absolutely can constantly provoke infidelity, right, in all of their relationships until they address this trauma, right? But we're talking about trauma from them possibly being cheated on. Let's dive a little bit deeper into the trauma of maybe they saw their parent get cheated on constantly.
That's what I was.
All traumas. It's not just being cheated on. Yeah. Maybe they think that this is normal. Maybe they grew up knowing this way of life, and that's all they know. So you fall in love with this person. Is it not excusable because they may not know how to address those issues? They may not know how to get the help that they see. I'm not saying accept the cheating and make excuses for it. That's absolutely not what I'm saying. I would never suggest that to anyone because I wouldn't partake in it myself. But I think that just knowing and being honest with all parties in a situation is necessary. And kind of like meeting people where they are. I'm real big on that. So they might not need a monogamous relationship. You might want to tell them that, hey, you might want to go over to poly. They they are super open. They love everybody. They love people for who they are. You know what I mean? And that's what you need to explore because this is not what we're doing here. Yeah. But I don't know.
I agree. For me, with the PTSD, I was definitely going more in the angle of where you went in the second part. What about the person who's been cheated on a lot? They suffer from PTSD too, and they come in with baggage just because, they're not, both sides work for that. You could be a cheater. You know what I'm saying? It makes you a cheater because you've been hurt by somebody else. Now you a cheater. Now it's just a trickling effect. Everybody with the PTSD is just a bunch of people who've been hurt. Like you say, hurt people, hurt people. So what they do is they inflict their pain onto the next person. and then they'd take their pain and go to the next person because nobody's fixing themselves. You know what I mean? I've been a victim of that and a candidate of that in the past. You know, I've been in relationships where, you know, I accepted stuff because I did stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know what I'm doing it to somebody else. So then when somebody did it to me, I kind of was like, you know, maybe we can fix that. You know what I mean? You start looking at things from a different perspective. So when you've been hurt, you respond a certain way. But when you are the herder, more than likely you're only responding because you have been hurt. So most people are just damaged.
Hurting.
Or you did the hurting to somebody else.
Because people got this whole thing about karma, like, oh, I did this before, so this is my karma. It came back to me. Okay, now we move past it. No, I'm not. No, I didn't even do it to you. That had nothing to do with you. That karma is gonna come back. It came back. I got it back in that situation.
Yeah.
No, I'm not accepting it. It has nothing to do with you. You wasn't even there. You don't know anything about it. You only know what I told you. Like, I'm not doing it. But not even just that. Honesty, transparency, clarity. Those are all the things that I know are necessary to make any relationship work, especially like my relationships with people. Our relationship wouldn't be operating at 100% because you're not able to give me those things. We're only going to be half of a machine. That's not, so it's inexcusable for me because it's like, where do we grow from here? Right? We're building our foundation with all these bullshit garbage materials. We're going to have nothing left at the end. So instead of trying to unpack your bags and build a foundation with me, no, go unpack your bags elsewhere and handle your business.
Absolutely.
We did good. That was a very loaded question, Brandon. But Keish, what you got? You said you.
So like I like earlier, like you were saying, like how like you know the PTSD could be like if you grew up in a household where you know like you saw like one of your parents constantly cheating on you know your mom or your dad. So it's like you might have seen that, and it's like your household was just normal. Like you know your mom and dad still loved you. They still show love to each other in front of you. So to you, it's like okay, well I can do the same thing in my relationships, and everything is just okay. You know, so they see that as like. It's okay for me to do this. Like, I still love my spouse. You know what I mean? I still give them what they need, but I have this other relationship. So it's like, does it make it excusable? No. But if you knew that about that person, it's like, I can kind of understand why they're doing what they're doing because they grew up in a household where this was just normal for them to do. Where they saw this as just this is just normal for them. So it's not necessarily excusable, but you can kind of understand why maybe they're doing what they're doing. I don't know.
Right.
It's a learned behavior is what we're trying to
you know.
A lot of things are we learn them through seeing.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that is so true. I totally agree with that. That is true.
Oh, we got new stuff. I love new stuff. 1 year versus 10 years. Do you think that the length of the relationship determines if you would cheat?
I'm gonna take that.
You 14 years. 14 years gotta take that.
I'm gonna take that. First of all, everybody know there is no excuse for cheating when you're married. There is none. I stand firm. It don't change. Mm-hmm. But I am going to say this. Over time, okay, you get with somebody in a new relationship and you working for that relationship, it takes a lot of your time and the energy and attention. Mm-hmm. So you don't be as quick to jump ship because you're working on getting that. You know what I'm saying? But when you've been in a relationship for so long, you know, and you start feeling like I'm not even working to get it, I'm pulling teeth to get it. You know, it's like kids, work, life, bills, family, deaths. It's just everything just keep hitting. And your time just starts to be like not there for each other. So I really believe that people who've been in longer relationships would cheat quicker than people who are in new relationships.
I agree.
I really do believe that, you know, because I told you that when you in a new relationship, it's new. Everybody like the newness. That's the good time. That's the fun. But when I got 10 years in and I'm feeling like I'm trying to get the good time, trying to have the fun, it get worn out. And people are quicker to say, you know what? I might just turn this corner for a brief peak.
Yeah, or they say like we outgrew each other, or I'm only still here because of our children, So I definitely agree with that.
Well, I don't have the experience that you guys have, so I'm just going to speak from hypothetically, But I think that if I were still living that cheating lifestyle, I would cheat in the beginning versus a longer time frame, because why do I want to jeopardize all this time and this energy that I put into my relationship, my foundation, my family, my growth as a person? I think that the best time, it's new and fun in the beginning. It's like a shiny new toy or whatever. But I think that I would want to make those mistakes in the beginning, and we address them and move on, or not, I don't want to be at year 7 and be like, damn, now I want to be out here popping, locking for somebody else.
Well, most people
it's a fine time to cheat today.
Most people who cheat after that much time, it's really not about. See, people cheat for different reasons. And most people who've been together for long periods of time, they are more than likely not. You're cheating for more than one thing. More than likely, either you're just cheating because you're not getting sex anymore, or you cheating because of companionship. Those are most of the time where people who are in long-term relationships, they are missing something. You're missing the mark. Two people are loving each other, and they're not loving each other the way they're supposed to be loved. You know what I mean? It's different in the beginning because you like, I just started. It's not. That's not new. You like the newness, but when you fighting for your relationship, everything have y'all done had multiple things happen in your relationship. It may have been some, I don't know. You got people who had kids out of wedlock. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be funny, but they done had kids out of wedlock, all that, and they done stayed together all them years for kids. They done stayed together all them years because they wanted to keep face for people. Then they slide and they cheat because half of the time they stayed, they weren't even in love anymore. They stayed for all the other reasons because they didn't want to give up 7 years, because you didn't want to give up 10 years. You understand what I'm saying? You stay, and then the whole time you really are unhappy. You know what I mean?
You're doing yourself an injustice, and you need
that
not
is true.
Do that.
Yes, and that's the positive note there.
No, don't do that. That's not okay, guys. So would you be more likely to cheat if your spouse cheated first? So like I said earlier, when I was younger, I would not allow anybody to get one up on me. Like, I was very competitive. So like, if you cheated, I'm like, you want to play? Oh, today's the day. Like, this is what we doing now. So, and yeah, I found out like I was really good at that. So it was just like, you're never going to win this game. So I don't know how to even answer this question for real. I wouldn't do it today. I would just let you go. Like, I don't have the time or the energy to put into that. So back then I did. I had time, like a lot of time on the clock in my eyes.
I'm just leaving.
I'm leaving.
I mean, honestly,
who has time to play that?
If I gotta cheat on you, I don't want to be with you. I mean, that's for real. Like when I'm in a serious relationship, anybody who know me, like, I'm committed to that person through hells and high waters. But when you cheat on me, I'm not gonna go back and cheat on you. I'm just gonna leave you.
Yeah.
You know,
and I think that
in my younger years, cheating didn't bother me because I probably was doing the shit too. But now, in my older years, you know what I'm saying? It's like, if I feel like you're cheating on me, I don't want to be with you no more. I'm not going to even waste my energy. I'm too old to be wasting my time. I need to move on. You know? So
exactly.
I think a lot of that has a lot to do with age too. Age, because what I tolerated when I was younger, I ain't tolerating now. Not today. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely comes with like maturity, because when you're younger, you be on some like 2 wrongs don't make it right, but I'm definitely getting even. But now you just be like, I ain't got time. Like you said, like you become like your age, with age, and you just like, I ain't got time for this. So just move on. And then, like you said, you're just end up going back and forth. Like, well, you did it to me, so I'm gonna do it to you. And it's like it just becomes like, what are we doing here? Like, we obviously don't want to be together.
Yeah, like why are we still here?
Then you done wasted all them years. Y'all don't even want to be together no more.
Nope.
Brandon, you're pretty quiet in this one, but I know you got something to say. Looking like you just
spit it.
Yes. So just going back to the other question that we asked about the duration of time, year 1 versus 2. Like we were saying, the most time I would rather you do what you need to do in the beginning, because what are you doing in the beginning of the relationship? You're building the foundation like we were speaking about before. If that foundation is not built on trust, is not built on the things that we need to continue on and carry to those 10 years or 10 plus years, we won't make it there. And I think at that point, instead of just sticking around and going through it, it'll be better to walk away from it at that point than to try to fight through it for those years. So like going to this question and talking about, in terms of if someone cheats first, are you more than likely as the other person to cheat back? I don't believe that's necessarily true. It depends on the situation. I can only speak for myself, and I'm just going to be honest, coming from somebody who was cheated on, did I go back and I want to have that urge to want to go and cheat? It was no, it was the mentality that I was in at that point. I got married young. So getting married young, my mentality is on, let's, fight for the family, family, people make mistakes, you can be understanding. Mind you, I've never cheated. I don't know what that, I despise cheating. That's just my take on cheating as a whole. I just can't stand it, but not because it happened to me. I just don't like it.
Because you said it, but we
know you. Everybody know me. That's cool. The man, though, I like to hear that.
But no, it's just that if you're somebody that's, if you're not fully committed in this relationship, just walk away. It's so much easier. Because the thing is, like, look at our families as it goes down, as the generations continue to trickle down. My great grandmother married 20 plus years, 30, 40 years. You know what I mean? Like, marriages were long lasting back then. And then as now, we come to find out, like, it don't have to be that way. I was raised old school, so I was under the pressure. No matter what, you're going to fight for everything. Is that always right? I'm going to say that wasn't right, because I think I endured and I went through things that I didn't have to go through. But thinking that is the way to do it, that's how we need to do it in order to make it work.
Talk about that. Talk about that. That's real.
I'm sorry. I just want to make sure that we understand, because coming from a man, women cheat just as much as the men. And I know it's not a question. I ain't trying to start. The thing is, I just think that it's been so ever. Like, I think it's just a cycle. I was just talking with somebody the other day, thinking like, it was done to, we'll just say the women were cheated on first. The men were doing a lot of the cheating. I don't know the history. In the comments, if somebody could do some, do some research and find out who's the first person to cheat. I don't know if we know who that is just yet. But I'm just saying that, it's been done. A lot of women have been experiencing that and going through that. So it's like a cycle. Now we're spinning around, and now the women are, treating us like we treated them, and being, and I call it that in the independent women era. But as we go through that, a lot of people feel as though they can do what they want to do. They can empower with what they're doing. So they're doing what they want to do, and relationships don't last any longer.
That is absolutely. And Eve cheated first, because she allowed the serpent to.
I knew it was going to be. I was trying to stay out of it.
No, Eve cheated first. And I'm a woman, and I'm saying that Eve she allowed the serpent to seduce her mind.
I'm not gonna agree or disagree. I'm just
okay.
I wasn't there. I didn't see it. My own two eyes told to me that's not what happened. I don't know. Mason.
Year 1 versus year 10. For me, I think year 10 is probably when the cheating will most likely occur. I think it occurs later on in the relationship, People get comfortable, they get complacent. Complacency leads to boredom. Boredom leads to wandering. Wandering leads to low self-esteem. It's a whole bunch of things that happens. The first person to come that picks you up and says, "You know what? Your hair looks beautiful today." You start feeling a little bit better. He comes back again. He's like, "No, you know what? Your skin is glowing today. You drinking water? You feel a little bit better. You're growing a little bit more." And it just becomes the attention. It becomes something else. It feeds your ego. So now, you're not getting that at home. You walk out, you step out. It's about your ego. It's about your self-awareness. It's about bad communication. It's all those things. And I think those things erode if you don't practice them over time. If you don't practice telling your significant other they look good, if you don't practice telling your partner that they are the best thing on earth, like with the lack of practice, somebody sneaks right in. You don't practice, you leave that door open. The opportunity becomes available for somebody else to sneak in, whether it be the work husband, whether it be the work wife, whether it be somebody at the bar. It just makes you feel good. And now once you get that high, now you start chasing that high. Now it's like, oh man, I feel good. I want to feel good some more. And you start, and then one thing leads to another. Then the emotional bond begins. Now you're exchanging numbers. The conversation starts. That's where it usually goes. So in the first couple of years, the attention is there, everything's there, communication's usually good in the first. Everybody feels good about themselves, egos are high, everyone feels, very committed to the scenario. But after time, those things erode, those things start being practiced, and then once they stop being practiced, that's when those things sneak in. So I definitely say that later on in the relationship is when the cheating is more likely to occur. And the tit for tat stuff, that's very childish. It happens all the time because hurt people hurt people. And then that's my statement. So it's like sometimes it is easier to walk away, but it's even more rewarding to those hurt people hurting you, because you need to feel what I feel. So I want you to feel what I feel. I feel vindictive. I was hurt, you hurt me, so now I'm going to do the same thing. 9 times out of 10, you're not even hurting that person and you don't even know it. Like, you're doing it, but they was already over you. So you doing it doesn't even do anything. Now it's just like it's a financial situation or whatever. It's a business. So like, it really don't bother me that you cheated, because I cheated for different reasons. So yeah, all that said.
Okay. Let's jump into our comments before we go to number 5. We are doing really great here today, guys. Mr. Peterson, aka Card Dude. Why is the rules and regulations for cheating are different from men and women? Is this woman can have a work husband, but a man can't have a work wife? So I think that's what you're trying to say. Why can women have work husbands and nobody should have it? Work woman, work wife, that's too much. You got one wife, you got one husband, or whatever. That's the thing that people do say though, like playfully, but it's the problem when it becomes like not realistically, like you really attached to your work husband or your work wife. Like, what's going on? Those are those emotional attachments that we were talking about though. So I don't know if that answers your question. We were talking about cheating for women is the same actually as cheating for men. Cheating is cheating. Doesn't matter if you're male or female. That act is no reason or excuse if you cheat. If you cheat, you are not loyal at all. Give that man another DeMarco shout out. They were talking about you, Brandon. You definitely have given yourself time to heal emotionally to be whole. You definitely have to give it. I think who said that? I think it was Brandon. I don't know. All right. Why? Oh, he said that twice. Okay. There are more married couples that cheat and think they can get away with it due to the fact that they know or think that their spouse won't file for a divorce. I've never been married, so I don't know. I'm going to say I agree. I don't know. I gotta agree with you.
I disagree.
I don't know. I'm married. I'm married, and I don't think that's true.
No.
There are more married couples that cheat. No, I don't believe that there's more married couples.
They're not saying that single people. They're just saying more married people cheat
because they don't
because they think that they're not gonna, no, they think that they're not gonna get it. Like, my wife is my wife. She's here to stay. Like, I got her. You know how, like, when you got somebody and you be like, she ain't going nowhere. Like, when niggas give babies to women, like, she ain't going nowhere. No.
Since when the men trapping women? What are you talking about?
I still don't believe.
I'm gonna give you this baby so you can stay. What? When did that happen? Here's the baby so you can stay.
Listen, I got story time every time. All right.
I'm not knocking you up so you can stay. Oh no.
That's you, Mason. You are like very small on that.
Pause.
Range. All right, never mind. Anyway, once you cheat in a marriage, the trust and loyalty and love go straight out the window. I cannot look at you the same, and the commitment between us is lost. Yeah. No two wrongs don't make it right. When you with someone, you should not be thinking about cheating. If you think like that, then you need to be single or just be in an open relationship. I agree.
Absolutely.
Question for the ladies. So this is for me and you, Keish, because, you know, yeah. What
the hell was that? Next to my water.
Why is there so many women that are attracted to married men? Ooh. I've never been attracted to a married man, like, in my life. I've been attracted to a married man. Side panel? You're the only married man I've ever been attracted to. I've never been attracted to a married man, so I can't speak from that perspective. I won't even try because I just think once he's married, he's off limits. So where's the attraction coming from? But how does that married man make himself available for someone to feel attracted? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm trying to say, Keisha?
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you're trying to say. Like, what energy are they giving off to make, you know, that other woman feel like,
right?
Don't blame the victim.
Or,
Let's not blame the victim. Don't blame the victim.
Your husband is available.
It's not available. My poor guy's just walking around, living life, like going to work. Not available.
But I mean, there are some women who do prey on married men. I mean, I don't know why, but I don't know why, but there are some women who do, you know, prey on married men.
They want all the benefits and none of the work.
Yeah,
there you go. I mean, that's the whole thing.
They want all the benefits and none of the work.
And they don't gotta have no responsibility. There are women who really are into that. They like, there's no attachment. You can go home to your wife.
That's the early sneaky link. That was the early version of the sneaky link. They was sneaky linking back then when they was doing that. That's a sneaky link.
That's the first one.
That was the first version. First iteration of the sneaky link.
I'm crying. All right. No. All right, I am with that man who has never cheated. I have never cheated, and that's what has kept me on top for real. That okay. No matter what the next person has done, but I'm not the one. I will not. But when I'm done, and it's his loss. It's not a practice. It's called appreciation for your woman or man. DJ Larceny. I don't know. Cheating is definitely not a good thing, but on the flip side, cheating can be a way for you to figure out what you really want in life, out of yourself and your partner. You should know that before you should have did that while you were single. You know what you getting already.
You ain't got to be, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, that's something you should definitely know before you get in a relationship. You should know what you want. That's why it's called a relationship. Exactly. I had so many failed attempts that I decided this is the one I want to settle down with.
You know what's funny about that? We always say that you should know what you want before you get in a relationship, but that's never true because people don't even know themselves. Like, there's a lot of people getting and jumping in relationships.
Be dating. If you don't know yourself, if you don't know your traumas, if you don't know your triggers, if you don't know what you really want, you shouldn't be dating. Be single. Spend that time by yourself. True. You gotta love yourself and have a divine relationship and connection with yourself before you can have a connection or relationship with anybody else. Or you're not being fair. You can't provide the honesty. You can't provide the clarity. You can't even be transparent because you're not transparent with yourself.
But how many people are self-aware enough to know that they're not? Or everybody thinks that they are. Everybody thinks that they are.
They know it. I believe they know it, Mason. Because people are selfish. And they feel that, you know, I can change if I get the right relationship. No, you ain't going to change for the right relationship. You need to fix you before you get in that relationship so that you will be good in that relationship. A lot of people don't want to do the work. They hoping they can get in a relationship and you going to change them to be a better person. No, you are just messed up person. It's nothing I can do to make you better. Nothing. I can stay forever and try my best to make you be the person I want you to be, but for real, you only going to be who you truly are.
Amen.
Well, look, also, I just wanted to add, it's look at how social media is. Look at what we see on TV. Everything's promoted. It's about the dating apps. It's about the happy times. Somebody proposing. Everybody's getting married. It's a lot of pressure on you when you're single to want to be in a relationship. And then when you're in a relationship, you want to be like, oh man, I wish I was single. And, it was easier when I was single. Some people, it depends on you and how you are, but you might find that attraction and be like, that's what I want. I need to achieve that. I'm getting older. The pressures of life and moving forward get you to want to try to maybe let me jump into this relationship. Let me see if I can fix me while also being in a relationship. It's the thing that we have to have that conversation with ourselves, and it's a hard one to have.
Yes, I agree with you.
Well said, Brandon.
Yeah, that was it.
You was being quiet, but you had that in the trigger. Okay.
I be holding the bombs.
You're ready. You're ready.
You always loaded.
And
there you go.
The chamber. It's a chamber. I was going to say the tunnel, the holster. Not what I was thinking.
The holster.
The holster.
I can't wear right now. And a drink. All right. So, number 5, if your relationship gets stale and boring, which we were talking about, which, Mel, I'm going to shoot this right at you because you was like, it might get boring at year number fucking 10. No. Does that door open the room for infidelity within the marriage? But I'm going to say my answer first.
Okay.
I'm going to say no. I think it should open up other doors. I think it should open up like maybe threesomes, the Mile High Club, boys, bring some so that it's not boring as hell ever.
It's hard to get in the Mile High Club. That's not an easy task.
It's really small in those bathrooms. You shouldn't try it. Don't do that at home.
I'm like 6'5". I'm like,
You're too big. I seen your height.
Whatever you and your partner prefer. I would say most of all, it opens up room for communication and conversation. If it opens up any doors, it should open up the door for that. Like, what can we do to be better? What do we need to do to bring this spice back into our life? How much we got to save up for the private jets to be in a Mile High Club? I
don't know. Stale or boring?
Stale or boring?
Open room.
She don't got it. Keisha.
Listen, let me know. For real, I got what I'm going to say to you. Open room. Got him. Dang, where that came from? The open room part, for real, for infidelity is no. There's no open room for it at any time for me. Okay? I can get bored. Shit do get stale. If you've been together for 23 years, ain't nobody, if they tell you it didn't, they're lying to you. But it's what you're willing to put in to make it better. It's the sacrifices that you're willing to give of yourself to say, I want to make it better. Uh-huh. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of people don't understand. It's a lot of people who cheat. They don't cheat at that late in the game because you really wanted to cheat. Sometimes a lot of people are pushed out. After that amount of time, you stop. Listen, you said this the last time. You stop looking cute. You stop putting on the heels. You stop doing the hair. You stop doing all those little things that turned me on when I met you. You know what I mean? You stop doing all those things. So that's a push. If I can't look at you and find no attraction, then what the hell's going to happen?
So wait a minute.
It don't mean I'm a cheat, but it does open up. I'm being honest. It opens up the room. I'm not a cheater. I want to make that very clear. But it makes the door of opportunity a lot easier when you can't come home and see the things that you want to see, or you can't receive the things that you want to receive. I didn't say I'm a cheat, but damn, I might think about it. Let's keep it real.
Okay, but why can't we just have an open conversation where you're like, you know what, babe, I really like those red pumps that you used to put on with that little outfit, the outfit that I like when you did that thing that I liked. I really think we should do that this weekend or tomorrow or tonight. Baby.
But you also you said this the last time. It ain't got nothing to do with what I want. If she ain't trying to make herself feel sexy, that ain't got nothing to do with me.
Yeah, you spitting my own shit back at me.
Because you the one. You told me that's what you said, and I'm like, she don't want to feel sexy. That's not my fault. That don't mean I don't want to see sexy, and that's the problem. People don't want to be honest. I want to see sexy. Just because you don't want to be sexy, that ain't got nothing to do with me. I could tell you too, I'm blue in the face. This is what I like. You know what I like. You've been with me so long, you should know, right? I shouldn't even have to tell you.
Go ahead, Keisha. Save the day.
I mean, the question does if your relationship gets stale, born, does that open the room for infidelity? I don't know. It could. I mean, it possibly could. I mean, it doesn't give you permission to cheat, though. I don't think that, but I do think it could lead to infidelity if your relationship is boring. Obviously, you're looking for something. You want some type of excitement, so it could lead to cheating. It could lead to a lot of different things. If it's boring and stale. So I just don't think it gives you permission to cheat, though. So,
and I'm not only talking about sexually, everybody. I need y'all to understand that. I'm talking about companionship.
Yeah, that's why I said anything. Ain't gotta be
I don't want you to think
cheating.
it's all about sex. I mean, to me, sex is for
the
real the bottom of the list.
That's like the fine
You know what
line.
I'm saying? But when I start feeling like I'm alone and I'm sitting in a room with you, that's a problem.
I look at it like, stale or boring, those are things that come in a relationship. I look at those as excuses for the infidelity. If you're using that as your reason, that's a really weak excuse for it, because how relationships are, it's always a work in progress. It's like a job. You know how we come in, you got to put in work into a relationship to get something out. If you're not putting in that work to keep that, the relationships that last a long time, that's because they've been able to keep, we always call it keeping the spice in a relationship, keeping that fire going. That's because you're putting in work. If you're not willing to put in that work, then it's just not for you. So at that point, again, if it gets stale or boring, and if that's what's going to get you to cheat just because of that, that's just a weak excuse to me.
I think so too.
That's true. You should just leave.
No, not because it's boring or stale.
No, I'm not saying that's the only reason, but I'm saying you have, once you get to stale and boring, y'all have been together. I don't think stale and boring happens early on. I'm gonna be honest. Stale and boring is down the line.
That thing, no. All right. Well,
anyway, so that's what I was saying. I'm just saying that.
In the beginning, they could be just a boring person.
I mean, yeah, you might, but most of the time, in marriages, it's been time. You don't. Stale and boring don't happen in the beginning. It's usually downtime because you got so consumed with life that it becomes like that. That's what happened with married couples. They get caught up in life, trying to pay the bills, trying to keep this done, trying to take care of the kids, trying to keep the kids happy, trying to make sure your parents happy, trying to make, people get caught up in so many other things that they forget, So I'm not saying you're absolutely right, Brandon. There's no excuse for you to do it or to cheat, but I'm just being honest. It does leave that door opportunity open. Not fulfilling a person's needs or wants in your marriage.
I understand that. I also think, though, it could be attractive women at work can lead to open a door to infidelity. It ain't just about the stale or boring. What you're not getting at home. Somebody out there is willing. That little, like we was talking about earlier. Somebody give you that little compliment. I mean, that's what you can do. You can have, or having that work husband or whatever. Is it harder to have a work husband or work wife if they're attractive, not attractive? Those things changes things based on a lot of factors. So I was just looking at it. This is just one of many excuses to why people cheat. It's boring or stale. Like, you get tired of it. But you're right. It definitely doesn't happen. It usually doesn't happen in the beginning. It's usually later on in a relationship because you done everything you needed to do, all the work you done put in. Now it's like, now what? It's supposed to get easier, you would think, but
it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
Well, this is like making me sad that like y'all are saying that you should leave. That bothered me.
What?
You should leave if it gets boring or it gets stale. No, I feel like
No.
No.
I'm not saying leave if it's boring or stale. I was saying when it normally gets to that point where it's stale and boring, it has been a lot of things that lead to that in a relationship. There is a what do you call that? That ball, when they say it's building up.
A snowball.
It's a snowball effect. You know what I mean? It didn't just happen that day when you did it. I done probably been there. It's probably been about a good 7 years or so.
Damn.
No, I'm saying people have.
That's a big snowball.
You got to think about kids. People stay for a lot of reasons. You know, my first time in my first relationship, I stayed because of my baby girl. Oh, wow. She had a baby for me. I didn't want to leave the baby, so I stayed. But when she was old enough to understand that it was okay for me to leave, I walked away. So I speak my truth. Yes, you stay in that relationship for other reasons other than yourself. People do it. I mean, and I'm not the only person who did it. Trust me. People just don't want to be transparent about themselves sometimes. You know what I'm
sure
saying?
You're not the only person. I know people who stay together.
Yeah, you stay together for the kids. It's about the family. Sometimes it's just, you know, when I built that foundation was way more important than anything else for me. So I wanted to keep that foundation for my kids, so I stayed. And then when I felt that my baby girl, the youngest one, was old enough to understand what was going on, I walked away. You know, and it made it a lot easier. You know, because when you got kids attached, man, people pull your strings big time. They know how to pull every string about you. You know, oh, you can't see the baby. Oh, you can't see her. So, well, I'm gonna put myself through that. Fuck it, I'll stay here and deal with the torture. I get to see my child at least, because that's gonna bring a smile to my face, and that's what happens.
Just to answer this question, I feel like sometimes we have unrealistic expectations of relationships, and we think that, you know, there should be butterflies all throughout.
I was going to say that.
We feel like the whole entire relationship should be butterflies, and the honest truth is, it's not always butterflies. Some days, some months, you can't do the same things you did other months. Some months you have to chill. Sometimes you can't do the same activities. What the key is definitely communicating and consistently communicating, and being with the right person. I said this last week, like, it's so important that your baby mom, person that you have kids with, baby mother, baby father, and the person you married are some of the most important decisions you can make in life as far as your overall happiness, from your mental health to your physical health to your emotional health. To, like, if you do those two things right, I'm pretty sure you'll have a good life. Versus if you do them wrong, my God, that could be hell. Like, the wrong person to have a kid with will be hell. From everything, they will ruin your credit, your life, your ability to succeed, your ability to breathe, your ability to, like, they will take you to child support. Oh, and after they take you to child support, they'll take you back again to child support, and it'll ruin your life. And these days, it's not exclusive to men or women. Stevie J just took Faith Evans for whatever, spousal support.
I did not know that they get divorced.
They getting divorced. Stevie J is asking or requesting spousal support. So it's not gender specific anymore. Just so you know, we always like, oh, I'll get half of his shit. Women are working today, and if you pick the right one, she got as much to lose as you.
Got as much as he got.
Oh, hell no.
So now the motivation is there to have those conversations. You know what, baby? Like, learning myself over the last year, like, I don't like going to those swingers clubs anymore. I want to stop. Like, those aren't my thing anymore. Like, I can't keep going every Tuesday. Like, it just can't happen.
I love it there. I want to go.
No, we can't. We can't. Like, we got to find something else. Maybe we could have dinner with these people, but we don't need to be having sex and orgies. I mean, the automatic Amazon order for condoms is just too much. It's too much. So, I mean, no, but it's I laugh and I jest, but those are a lot of serious things and a lot of serious topics, and just things for you to consider. Boredom, it's not always gonna be great. Sometimes it's a roller coaster, and that's what people, this level of instant gratification that we live in, this microwave society, where, like, yo, if I want to see a beautiful woman, I just got to look at my phone, scroll. I'll find 10,000 of them. Back in the day, Grandpa wanted to find a beautiful woman. He had to go down to the saloon or wherever the heck he went to, the Wiggly Piggly, whatever that shit is called, and he had to go find them.
Okay,
easy access.
He did go find them, and the whole thing is,
the neighbor,
they cheated back then. Because I'm just gonna say, I think my grandparents' relationship was absolutely boring and stale. In my own opinion, I was there for a long time. For me,
you.
Yes, because I have a trauma story, but we'll talk about it off the air. I cannot do this with my grandparents today on this air. That would be
Please
wrong.
don't.
My mom's watching.
Please don't. Whatever it is. Please don't.
But no, seriously, all jokes aside, I think that if it was once exciting, you can always bring excitement back. Boring and stale doesn't mean end all be all. Just because we're bored here right now doesn't mean that we can't go back to having the excitement that we once had. We just need to remember the things that made us happy together when we were with each other in the first place. That got us to be here for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. It doesn't matter.
Sounds good.
I know, but I'm only talking from a perspective of I've never, like, I don't know, 10, 14 years over here. And, you know, I don't know.
Sounds good. I mean, I'm not saying wrong. That's the way it should be. You know, what you're saying is right. But realistically, you know, people get comfortable over time. They get comfortable in the fact that you not going to leave them. They get comfortable in the fact that you going to love me no matter what, you know, because you tell them you love them and they feel love is enough.
Well, that's what you vowed to do, though. We're talking about marriage here. You vowed to love me through it all. You vowed to love me in sickness and in health. You vowed to love me through fun times and good times, bad times, whether I'm broke, I'm rich, I'm poor, I'm whatever the fuck.
Okay.
So if you vowed to love me through that, then that's what you should do.
Okay, but there's other vows.
I can still love you. I can still love you, and all that happens.
Other vows in all of that.
I was like, who's that man?
Me too. There's other vows in that.
It's
Everybody always gets stuck on the fact of staying with you through sickness and health and all that. But there's a lot of other vows that goes with that.
What
about forsaking all others? What about that? There should be no
marriage thing.
I've never heard that.
You know, that means that you're supposed to be, nobody's supposed to come before me, or I'm supposed to put nobody before you. We are first. It's me, you, and God in this relationship. This ain't no me.
Automatic threesome.
There's no.
Start off with a threesome.
There's no mothers. There's no fathers. There's no children. There's no nobody. It's supposed to be you and your spouse first.
I agree with you on that.
You know what I mean? So if I'm giving you all that other stuff and you're not even giving me that small portion where I'm number one, you know, that's a problem. That's a problem. Because I would never put nobody before my wife. Nobody. Not my kids, not nobody. Because when I took that oath in front of God, I chose her.
Any married people?
You know, it don't say, I know it says when a man, but when you find a wife, you find a good thing. I really believe. When I chose you. You taking something pride. My father gave me that last name. I'm giving it to you. That's me. I'm giving you me. You know, I need you to give that back. You know
Brandon,
what I mean?
We need you. Because I don't know. I can't answer this. I'm usually like the shooter with the pew 22s.
I'm divorced myself, just for me. So coming out of it, you know, it's different. It's a different feeling, you know, in terms of, you know, the relationship and how it grows and what it doesn't grow into. So everybody's different. Everybody has different experiences with it. You know, all I would say is that, you know, you take your lessons as they are. You know, you learn along the way. You learn what you can tolerate, what you won't tolerate. And if that so happens to jeopardize your marriage, then, you know, that's still a learning opportunity. So
absolutely.
It's all with time. You know, they say time heals all wounds, you know, things like that. You know, that may be true. I'm still working on that. I'll figure if that works. I don't know if that's true or not.
Well said.
Very well
said. Do you want to jump into the comments, or do you want to jump straight into question number 6?
We'll go 6 and then go comments.
Okay, because that is our last question, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, number 6. Can you do the time? Prison, business trips, the fucking army. Can you be away from your spouse for 12 months straight without being emotionally or sexually unfaithful? I'm going to just say I've done it. It was very weird as fuck. Not the fact that of me having to be a part and be who I was supposed to be in that situation, but it was weird because first of all, I grew so much in that time apart. Like there's so much other things you could do besides cheat, right? You need to get in tune with you. So what I did was I got really in tune with me. I succeeded in so many things, like goals I had on my list, like personally as a woman, that I didn't have time to think about other people. Sorry. I wasn't interested in anyone else though. And what made it weird is because I still was deemed to be a cheater when the situation was said and done. Like, because I made friendships, like Brandon was talking about, friendships outside the relationship during those times of self-growth myself. And that was like, you was cheating on me because you was super close with this person. I'm like, I never slept with that person. Don't have an emotional connection. How was I cheating? So I can do it, but people may still have their own perception of what's going on here.
So can you have an emotional, you're saying you can't have an emotional relationship with somebody without it being cheating?
I'm saying that in my personal experience, I had a friendship that I built during the time being away from my partner at that time. I built friendships with the opposite sex, and they still deem me to be a cheater regardless. People are always going to think what they want to think regardless. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter about how you, like, I can sit here and say, listen, I never slept with this person. This person brought me to see you when you were in Hawaii. I don't know. I'm just using this. Or this person escorted me to the airport when they knew I was going to see you. And you're thinking that I was sleeping with this person or dealing with this person on some type of level. No, I wasn't. But to that person, was it still cheating? No, I was a faithful of all faithfuls. Like, you know, does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah, no, I will.
Emotional attachment, though. So when you say emotional attachment to a person, because Brandon, you just asked the question, are you saying that, you know, an emotional attachment is not unfaithful?
No,
Do you think an emotional attachment is unfaithful?
Well, it's just an emotional attachment. You know, me and somebody else can have an attachment based on, you know, it could have been something that we went through and we have a connection, and that gives us the emotional attachment. I mean, emotion is not I'm not looking at it in terms of wrongdoing. I'm just saying you can have an emotional attachment with somebody of the opposite sex or however it goes. You know, you can have an emotional attachment with somebody but not be cheating. That's not cheating. It depends on the nature of that emotional attachment.
Uh-huh. I see what you're saying.
So that's what made me ask that, because I heard how you asked me.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't hear. I thought it was something else. But okay, yeah, no, you can.
Yeah, I was ready to go. Boom, boom. I was ready.
Emotion.
I was about to get you.
It's seen in different aspects. You know, emotional can be seen. You know, you can be emotionally attached to a friend because y'all
absolutely. That was my point.
Y'all been through some things together, and y'all become emotional. She's a femme, but y'all emotionally attached. But you didn't sleep with her. Like my best friend is a femme. Never slept with her. Never will sleep with her, and she's bad. Don't get me wrong. All my friends jump on her as soon as they see her. But the truth of the matter is, we had an emotional attachment. When I got with her, we were emotional because she knew me. She knew everything I went through. She knew what I've been through in my relationship. So we became emotionally attached, but we still didn't sleep with each other. You know what I mean? So I don't know if you can say emotional attachment is being unfaithful. I think what happens is when you replace somebody else as your best friend, that's when I think it become a problem. Because honestly, when you're married to somebody, that's your best friend. That should be your best friend. That's where the emotional attachment is the problem. You know?
Yeah, you winking your whole head off.
Yeah, you know, they over here best friending. But you know,
away for the weekend.
You know, that's what I think the emotional attachment really, you know, really takes effect right there, because you should not be replaced. Your friend should not know your deepest secrets before me, and I'm being real. Like, you tell your girlfriend certain secrets, but those deep, dark secrets of what you've been through, your partner, that's supposed to be your best friend. If you can't share it with them,
but that's hard. That's hard.
Yeah, I can't tell my husband everything.
But You were in prison when this happened, and I did not want to overwhelm you with this. Like, I wanted to talk to the person that was here right now and that could help me with that right now. I didn't want.
Who was in prison?
No, my husband.
Oh.
And the husband, hypothetically speaking.
Thank you. Make sure you say that.
Side panel home. Relax.
Nah. So my husband, you were in jail when this happened, and I didn't want to necessarily overwhelm you with that. So who was I supposed to talk to?
No.
Who was supposed, like, you know what I mean? So I think a lot of people have the emotion. Okay, because in the beginning, when we first came into this and we said, what's cheating and what's worse, sexual connections or emotional connections? Now we're like double backing, and we're saying, like, does time constitute this? What we're saying is that what we're saying?
No, I think we're looking at two different aspects. You were saying about the 12 months, having an emotional attachment with somebody when somebody's gone from you 12 months.
Mm-hmm.
I think an emotional attachment is different because he's gone for 12 months. You know, you just have a friend that you is feeling. What I said was when you replacing me when I'm here. Like you replacing that, there's a difference. You didn't replace him. You had a feeling. You know, it's just like when most girls.
Okay, so what about being gone sexually for 12 months? Is that a thing? Should I wait for you?
Hell yeah.
Only if you're in the army or if you're in jail?
No,
or you're in a business trip. Which one? Does it change?
It depends what your relationship is. It depends what your relationship is.
How long that sentence is.
Yeah, some girls are just gonna be straight up. They be like, I ain't doing no bid with him. They be serious with that. They be like,
I don't know about these bids. I'm going on a business trip.
You know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
You know, if your girl's in the military and she's building a future for y'all, hell yeah, you're supposed to wait. You're supposed to wait. She's building a future for y'all, or he's building a future. But prison. That's why you got to separate the things. Because prison, it's like, for real, nigga, you chose to be in there.
Exactly.
You know, let's be real. That's how they be. Come on, let's tell the truth.
No, I'm not waiting.
I'm
not waiting either.
But the time that I did wait, it was for a prison sentence. Oh my God, that sounds so horrible. But it was. Now, my sister, she's the opposite of me. She's smart. Right, so she has a husband who's in the military, but that's also really hard too. But she does it with ease because that's just not who she is. She's a loyal person and she values her marriage and her husband and her family, and she understands the foundation in which they are building and the lifestyle he is providing. Business trip, providing. Mm-hmm. Why would you cheat or be unfaithful while your person is providing?
Absolutely.
That's wrong.
Say it
Jail,
again.
do you, boo-boo. Do you. He made a choice. Choice.
See, bros, you out there trying to get the baddest girls, and this is that's you. That's on you.
He ain't doing no bid with you, yo.
Nobody doing that bid with you, brothers.
No.
I think.
Keisha think?
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Keisha.
No, I'm with them. When it comes to the army, like business trips, I can totally, you know, be good with my husband because I mean, we can always video chat. I mean, you know, if it's about sex, you know, we can always video chat and do stuff like that. But like you said, when it comes to prison, nah, like you on your own with that. So I ain't waiting. So
devil's advocate. Somebody hurt somebody in your family and he killed them because of you. Would you wait? Devil's advocate.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting.
Somebody hurt one of your kids and he lost it. He killed
waiting.
She said I'm super waiting. Getting married, conjugal visits, everything.
Yeah, I mean, we have to have some conjugal visits, something. 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 Like
that's why I'm just saying. I just wanted to, because I know most people will say I'm not going to wait for him in prison. Mm-hmm. I understand that, but it might be a reason that he in there that could be for the family, and you know.
So let's not count them out.
Yeah,
let's not count them all out. Some of them are not in there for something that they just did and made a choice. They did make a choice. Everything's a choice. Mm-hmm. He could have did it differently. Don't get caught.
Yeah.
But, like
that's a cheater's mentality. We can do it. Do it differently. Just don't get caught.
No.
No one gets hurt if no one knows.
Oh my gosh. No.
But when they do something like that, you kind of think like, okay, we're gonna try to work this out. You know what I mean? But when they just going on because they was doing something crazy, yeah, we done. Like, I catch you when you come out. But like you said, if they did something for the family, let's see what we can do here. I personally can't say, I'm just going to stick it out for 30 plus years, but I'm certainly trying, but I can't guarantee that I'm definitely going, be 100% faithful. Like, I just don't, being honest.
Okay.
What about the guys? Y'all staying down for the girl that's in jail?
I'm gonna be like Mandisi said.
No.
Is that what he said?
No.
He said no? Did he say no?
He said, I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
She done sat out here all this time waiting for you. You gonna say I don't know? That's a no. That's a no.
The man from Harlem said, I don't know. I don't know.
It depends.
Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all this is the first time Mason has ever been dirty on her show.
That's dirty? I don't know.
That's dirty. She took the charge for you, Mason.
Y'all done said y'all leaving homeboy that was selling drugs to provide for y'all. Y'all leaving him. But me saying I don't know, I'm dirty. Y'all are out. Y'all are out.
He did the finger.
Y'all are not sticking around for him, so I don't know. Like, I don't know what Shorty did.
Okay.
What
And
does my man Brandon think?
Brandon?
I think it really does depend on what the charges we're going up against. How long's gonna be you in there? Because, man, it's just like I think for the most part, if somebody was going away, it depends on your relationship. They wouldn't want you to be, based on their decision, they wouldn't want you to be left behind or miss out on your blessings or what's out there for you. So that's the conversation y'all have. I think they'll do the best interest, especially if they facing. I mean, come on, we facing some years here. You're gonna be sitting down for a while, so it's like I'm supposed to just sit here and wait.
No, that's selfish for people to think that though, but they do.
But they do. Unfortunately, we live in this world where they
do.
really think that you're supposed to wait until they come home, and realistic. That's not realistic.
Papoose waited for Remy, so I mean,
I am going to say. I believe
for Remy?
a person. I believe
I'm waiting for Remy.
If you really love a person, you can wait.
If
I
you
do
really love a
because
person,
I'm
you
gonna tell
would.
you something.
You
I've been
said
in
you can't?
situation. She said I've been in situations where I had to wait, and I'm gonna keep it real. But the truth of the matter is, I love her. So whatever we had to go through at that moment, we went through.
So why is it okay? This is not a part of the question or panel, but this is a random for me just thinking. Why is it that you could wait for them to come from jail or whatever the circumstances, but you can't wait for them to be able to adjust readjust their traumas and how they deal with them?
Oh, perfect question.
I know.
I love it. Because there's a difference. When you've been with somebody for so long and you've been repetitively trying to help them and be patient with them to go through their process, there at some point you have to start saying, okay, I've done all that I can do to help you. Now it's time for me to help me, because it drains you when you're constantly giving of yourself to try to help somebody heal. The one thing that we made clear before we started talking, you need to fix yourself before you get into the relationship. Now I'm stuck trying to help you heal, and you fucking me up in the process. That's not cool.
Relax.
That's what happens. That's not
Can't
cool.
progress like that.
No, not at all. Unfortunately, we try to find the best in people, and we always trying to find that maybe if I try it this way, this time it's going to be different. Can't nobody tell me. I've done every direction. I've been up, down, round, side, jumped over the back, went around 2 blocks, came over a hill, and came back down to try to help you. And then the end result is I'm out of breath. I done killed myself trying to help you. Okay? And now I'm dying of thirst, and you leave me there to be like, hey, that was your choice. You chose. You chose. No, but there are people like that. You chose to do all that stuff for me. I didn't ask you to. You chose to do that. So now you have to make the right choices and make it about yourself. And that's why I say it's not about nobody else. It's about you. You got to think about yourself.
Whoa, fuck it, sister. You've been talking your talk. Sometimes you should tell. I'm sorry. That was right. I just saw whoa, talking sister. So Mason, let's jump into our comments before we are about to head out. Sometimes you should tell her or him what you want to see or do in your relationship. So that's referring to when it gets bland, like chicken from the other people.
The other people. Keep going.
Yeah. Okay.
Whoa, talking sister.
If you feel like you're alone in the room, maybe you should put on a show for her. Whoa! Talk to her. Yeah, you feeling like you went alone? You feeling like you're alone? Put on a show. How about that? Why you won't start the show? Why the people who's bored and stale don't make it spicy?
So
why is it on the other person?
Okay,
I got a lot of questions.
What if you have? What if you have done other things to try to make it spicy?
Did you come out in a Superman cape? Because she likes the Superman cape.
How do you know? No, you got to understand. I work on operate different. I know her love language. So I start doing more of her love language. She likes me to do the dishes, help her around the house more. That's her love language. That's the stuff she likes. She likes help.
Not exciting.
She likes help. No, but I'm saying, that's what I'm saying. Y'all don't understand the love languages. The love languages is what turn people on, for real. You understand what I'm saying?
You ever seen one of those scenarios where somebody tries to do something extra and it just falls flat on his face?
Do you think that people's love? Okay, so these are a lot of you guys have been in relationships for a long time, right? The three of y'all. Yeah. So do you guys think that the love language over time may change? That's the truth of the situation. The love language over time may change. So when you got with this person 20 years ago, their love language was this. And now it's 20 years later, and their love language is that. They don't want you to keep doing this. Your love language can change as you grow. My love language is not the same. I wanted a Birkin at 22, and I don't want a Birkin at 30. I want a house.
Okay,
Listen,
listen.
you know what I'm saying?
I can't speak for other people. I can't speak for other people, but in my relationship, I take spiritual gift tests and relationship tests constantly because I'm always looking because we are growing. I understand your point, but I understand what
you don't need to have a test to know you. You don't need to do a test to know you or her.
The point I'm making is we do things to try to make sure we know each other.
We know each other because we're with each other every day. Ain't no test to tell me about my person. Ain't no test to tell me about me.
But the point I'm making to you is you still learn.
You can't tell me though.
You still learn. I hear what y'all saying that a test can't tell you, but the truth of the matter is it made us sit down and get together to be able to do that test. And when we did that test, we were able to find out what I liked at 25, I don't like at 40. You understand what I'm saying? You do realize that over time, but you're not going to like the same things because the life that I led when I had children is different than the life when I don't have to have children because I did move differently when I had a family. Now I don't have a family. I don't have to move the same no more. It's all about me and her. You understand? I did. So we all do change. You're absolutely right. But you got to be able to say, still, just because you change, I change. There's still things that got to keep the love and keep the lust and keep all that going on inside the relationship. Love is not enough. You got to have all those qualities to go along with it. You understand what I'm saying? You got to have all that.
Is love enough, guys? Brandon, Keisha, is love enough?
I think that, love can carry on. It can carry a relationship pretty far if you're strongly in love with somebody. It'll carry you through all the tough times and everything. But I think the one thing that you need to have is that communication. That's what'll help you in that time when it gets stale. It's communication. Just like somebody even in the comments was talking about, communicate, talk to one another. That's what it's all about, communicating.
I agree.
We are pretty bad at communicating, male to female, no matter how much you communicate, however you communicate, and it's tough. It's hard to communicate. It's something that's ever changing too. Communication changes. As time goes on, things change. So it's hard to, it's not easy. That's where it gets really, really tough. The further along you go, the tougher it gets in a relationship. It's in order to last long and to be able to communicate and just be in each other's lives and you'll know when something changed. You'll know when something's up, because you put in that time to be observant and pay attention to the things and those little cues. And when something's wrong with your significant other, then you want to, go ahead and investigate and find out. And now the love that you have for them makes you want to fight for more to make them happy once again.
Absolutely. Very well said, Brandon.
Brandon is like,
very well said.
I know, right?
Like, I don't know. Like,
very well said.
Okay. We like you here on Hush About, Brandon. It's going to my cup. Okay, that's a very good point. Fire signs for you, Brandon. Fire signs.
Appreciate it.
Whatever happens in Vegas does not stay in Vegas. Mason, you should say yo no stay for that question about waiting for the girl for 12 months. Yes, because
you know what I'm saying.
Yo no stay. I think emotional attachment can be cheating, but when it's an emotion you feel that you have to keep from your spouse.
Okay. Reese. That's
for Brandon because he was very adamant about that emotional attachment.
It depends on what, like I said, just in the beginning, we were talking about, a relationship, you can have that. We're talking about the work wife or the work husband, those things. You can have an emotional attachment with that person. It's when, like, for example, I'm just going to use myself. It was one job that I had, with somebody that worked there. It didn't help that she was attractive. That did not help at all. But the fact that, little jokes every day, work jokes, things like that. I didn't see nothing wrong with those things that we were doing. Was it something that was I taken away from my relationship? Was I taken away? Was I not getting my work done? Was I, making it my way out of my day to, go and sit and converse with that person and do things? No, that's not the case. But it's okay to have a work relationship with people that you work with, because the thing is, a lot of around the people you work with, you have a little, you have something in common. You're all doing the same job. When the job is bad, it's a tough day. You got somebody you can vent to and talk to. I don't think there's nothing wrong with those things until it goes further than that. If it goes anywhere further than that, beyond a friendship, and that's even hard to say a friendship, that's a colleague for the most part. And I'm just using this as an example, but it can be tough, but you can definitely have an emotional attachment with somebody and not be anything more than that.
People are getting hung up on this emotional attachment because we said from the beginning that emotional engagement as far as like cheating is like the worst thing you can do.
That's what I was
but an emotional attachment is something different because like I have a friend that I call when my partner's not available, right? And that's just to even just like shoot the shit and just have just to uplift my spirit sometimes just because that person is silly. And that doesn't make me that doesn't make it like I'm cheating on my partner when I'm talking to that person. You know
it's
what
about
I mean?
the boundaries, though. You know what I mean? Like it's about the boundaries. You can have those people, but there's boundaries that you have to set up, and there's disrespect, and then there's respectful boundaries. So, for instance, if you calling that person at 3:00 in the morning, it's disrespectful.
I can call at 3:00 in the morning. It's not disrespectful.
It is disrespectful. I think if you're in a relationship, I totally agree. I totally agree. If you are in a relationship, you cannot be disrespected like that, getting called at 3:00 in the morning from a married woman. Keisha, if your husband got a call at 3:00 in the morning from his emotionally attached friend,
we're not having that. Nope.
What we not having, Keisha?
Like he just said, if some woman who's like a friend is calling my husband at 3:00 in the morning,
he's your husband. This is my friend though. Before he was your husband, and guess what?
No, heck no.
Hey. But forsaking all others. Forsaking all others.
And that could be true. But once me and him got married, I come before you now.
Here you
go. No.
Bam.
You are right. But I'm talking specifically about me. My friend's not married. I mean, he got married the other day, but he wasn't married.
But you're in a relationship. You're in a relationship. You're in a relationship. So one of y'all are in a relationship. You're in a committed relationship.
That I was already calling this person. That was my friend. That's my friend.
And he should respect side panel enough to know that, okay, 3 o'clock is a little bit extra, buddy.
He's not calling me at 3 o'clock in the morning, but I can call him at 3 o'clock in the morning.
That's the same thing. You're going to get up out your bed to call you.
It don't matter. I want to know why you calling somebody 3 o'clock in the morning. That's just not cool.
Facts. Drop the
That's just not cool.
Because you was out and you was coming from Fat Daddy and you went to fucking around the clock. And I need
That's too specific. That's too specific.
And I'm having a breakdown.
That's all excuses. That's all excuses. Boundaries. Friends get boundaries.
They definitely do.
I love you. It has nothing to do with love. It has nothing to do with us being emotionally connected. But between the hours of 12 and I'm gonna say 6, 7 a.m.
Why?
You can't talk. Maybe even 11 p.m.
11.
Yeah, 11.
I'm gonna tell you a secret.
That's the cutoff time.
That's the cutoff.
No. It's 11
Unless you
o'clock
dying.
here, but guess what? It's 6 o'clock somewhere else. So guess what? You don't know where my friends are at. You don't know what's going on.
I could give 2 fucks. It's 12 o'clock here. It's 3 o'clock in the morning here. I could give 2 fucks with your friend. I don't care where they at. The fuck?
Exactly.
I will be glad to hang up for you and turn off your phone, or maybe throw it and go back to sleep. Through the door. And I'm going back to sleep.
Emergency. That's somebody.
Yeah, this kind of emergency.
Nah. Who's dead? That's a dead call.
Yeah, somebody dead. You dead. You dead.
Better be somebody call you. You dead. That's the heck.
We do not promote violence.
I'm sorry.
We don't.
I don't know. They may have gotten their heart attack.
I was just. It sounds good. It sounds good.
Listen, you guys, we had an amazing time here on Hush Your Mouth today. The last comment was from Caprice Tunnel. She said, "Deep, this is so true. I think an emotional attachment can be cheating when it's an emotion you feel you have to keep from your spouse, and I think that's what it's about. When you start having to keep things from your spouse, it becomes cheating. It becomes a problem. If your spouse is okay with you getting phone calls from your friends at 3 a.m., then let that be the thing. But if not, then respect their boundaries and their wishes and be great. That's it. That's all I have for you guys today. All right, so." I'm going to say you can find me here every Tuesday and Thursday at 8:15. We are also on Spotify, major platform, Anchor, Apple, any listening platform. We're really much there. I am shaking my head because that's Kori's business. She's not married yet. Well. Okay.
I'm shaking my head because you're in a committed relationship.
I'm shaking my head because she's in a committed relationship. I wouldn't care if she's married or not. That don't matter. Being married ain't got nothing to do with it.
No.
You building a foundation. Who's gonna marry her if she ain't building a foundation? You gotta build a foundation. Don't say that. That's not okay.
No, Mom.
That's not okay.
Not at all.
Sorry, Mom.
Sorry,
no.
Yeah.
Try again.
Try next time. And on next week, Thursday.
Try it next time.
Look at me. Look at her. That's not me.
Anyway, y'all already know it's your girl Kori Deez. Lemon Squeeze _3 on Instagram.
Lemon _squeeze 3.
Whatever.
That's her Instagram, people. I'll tell you. Go ahead. Keep going.
Chef, where they can find you at?
For me, I'm your favorite chef 65.
Hey.
That's my chef at my wedding, guys.
That's our wedding chef right there.
Hey.
So, Akeisha, you have a podcast.
Me?
No? Okay, no, never mind.
No, I don't have no podcast.
She's on our podcast.
No, yeah, I'm just on you guys' podcast. I don't have a podcast, but you can follow me on Instagram at Miss Prissy Makeup. Okay?
Makeup artist.
Makeup artist, yes.
And
Yeah.
I will be officially, hopefully, in 2 weeks, opening back up doing the liquidation business. I got a spot that I'm gonna be dealing with out of Dover, Pennsylvania, and I'm J Storms with an S, 1973.
I don't know why I do that to you.
I don't know. J Storms with an S, 1973 on Instagram.
I gave you a 7.
That's okay.
That's my favorite number.
It's my favorite number too. That's
you're like one of my favorite people. So it's okay. Mason.
Yes, as always, you can find me every Tuesday and Thursday here on Hush Your Mouth. On Instagram, it's at YNVS_ it's Mason. Yep. Also, don't forget to follow our Instagram, Hush Yo Mouth _ENT. As Kori said, we are on all major platforms. We are on YouTube. We are on everything.
Until next time, guys, you already know, speak out or hush your mouth. Until next time.
Deuces.